I got a lot of notes for this one, so I'm just, for the most part, going to read what I wrote. So these are notes from my April 2026 reading of Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. Here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, talk through my book and reading notes from my April 2026 reading of a love story that spans a few families and neighboring estates. Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë, initially published 1847. This is a 2003 reissued Penguin Classics Edition paperback, ISBN in the video description. I started the book on Friday, 3 April 2026 and finished the book on Wednesday, 8 April 2026. It's 337 pages. It took me 6 days of reading, 30 pages Friday, 3 April, 30 pages Saturday, 4 April, 120 pages Sunday, 5 April, 30 pages Monday, 6 April, 50 pages Tuesday, 7 April, and 77 pages Wednesday, 8 April. The movie adaptation I refer to in this video is 2026 film Wuthering Heights, released on 13 February 2026 per Seattle time zone, Seattle area. This is perhaps, and this is my notes, this is perhaps the best book I've ever read, any gender of author, at capturing the inner fire / fight of a female human being. A family characterization for the movie and book. It's a love story about a woman whose father can never quite be happy for her. The movie. A love story about a woman whose father nor brother can never quite be happy for her. Book. Part 1 of 2, my classification, the father. Perhaps the real-life father component of the story is the bad dad incest type. The dad on some level, possibly not cognitively, the heart is a different organ than the brain, wants to reproduce with his female offspring. And if the female does not produce a gender he approves of, he seeks to make the female offspring miserable, including through family behavioral norms ingrained in other male blood family members and the help. A modern take on the incest father, a dad who thinks anything his daughter puts into the world he is allowed to take and use for his business. For example, I did a project on solar energy in the first half of 2012 in South Africa. If my dad later invested in solar energy, that would be an incest dad move. Jane Austen took the only daughter's perspective in Pride and Prejudice, and Emily Brontë was like, dang you, and took the solo female offspring approach in this story. While there is a brother, the lady goes it alone, the love story. 2026 film adaptation meets book for my attempt at a description. This works with the male offspring of Catherine from the movie and not the daughter as in the book. So perhaps that is why Catherine dies. Her papa wanted it to be a daughter, not a son per the movie. Even after his death, she could not continue fighting off his attacks, including legacy attacks through his estate. Catherine struggles with her surname in relation to her father and a boy from the streets. With the family surname, which she yearns for, she cannot survive with a male child, so both she and the son die. If she had accepted the surname Linton with her heart and come to terms with her husband wanting a son, she might have survived. Trying to make Papa proud killed who? The main character? The author? Both. The father is only tolerant of the daughter having female offspring. Any deviation in course, and the father takes corrective action since she did not do it right in his perspective. My papa became physically intrusive in relation to talking about sons when I was growing up. That is why I had only female pet rodents. The realm of a son. The dad may approach the daughter and say he is okay with her having blue, male human offspring, even when she says no to you. It is a way the father denies the daughter her rightful role as the parent of the human offspring. Part 2 of 2, my classification, the male friend. I covered this more when I went and saw 2026 film Wuthering Heights, per aforementioned described in movie theaters. So part 2 of 2, my classification, the male friend. It's not as obvious in the movie. So Edgar Linton, Mr. Linton, did not like the dad / blood family head of estate of Catherine. That is why he did not visit the estate. She ended up approaching him. Blood head of estate progressed dad then brother. So in here, there's actually opportunity for Linton to approach her, but he doesn't because he doesn't like the dad of Catherine. Perhaps Heathcliff was kept around in the story not only because he was a friend and kindred spirit for her hot temper, not adored by men in her blood family, but because she was accepting / loving of her father and she wanted approval of her father from her man. So she blurred the friend / romantic interest line. If she couldn't change the mind of Mr. Linton about her blood family, then just bring in a male friend. If the family died, he should be able to stay because he, Heathcliff, would be all she had from home anyway. Mr. Linton loves / adores Catherine, Kathy, though is not the biggest fan of her hot temper, slightly related since Heathcliff is similar at times in temper. Mr. Linton asks Catherine to choose either him or Heathcliff as a friend, page 117. So it's actually done in the story. So where is So where is she to get love for who she is, if not her family and not her soulmate? Or so if not her family nor her soulmate, her best friend who loved her because they were the same in that way. Backstory / filling in. Mr. Linton is / becomes a little bit pushy like her father. So then the male friend who does not himself change, nor push for others to change, could be thought of as a desirable ingredient to a more lovable Mr. Linton for Catherine. She opts for a path of not changing Mr. Linton and instead tries to incorporate her survival ingredient, love of who she is, via male friend, Heathcliff. I might then classify the Catherine Heathcliff love story as a survival type love story, one to preserve a part of who she is that corresponds with her own happiness. And then something else in this book, the estate legacy. So, son of Heathcliff and Isabella, sister of Mr. Linton, is invoked. Daughter of Catherine and Mr. Linton, who's also named Catherine, who outlives her mother than her father, is also invoked. A will and testament type is invoked, as well as who gets the estate. Catherine, then Linton dying. No male heir means neighboring estate owner and brother-in-law to Mr. Linton, Heathcliff, may get. He fills an uncle role for young Catherine and a possible employer role for Ellen / Nellie Dean. Or does daughter Catherine get, or someone else? The father of the young Catherine, Mr. Linton, was not a fan of her temper, same as her mother, and so the young Catherine gets support for that part of who she is from Heathcliff. That is the final romance story. Approximately 39-year-old Heathcliff, which Linton was like 39 when he died, and Catherine was like 6 months older, and Heathcliff was about her age. So approximately 39-year-old Heathcliff and approximately 17-year-old daughter Catherine, which I think they said is 17 in the book, years old. That's the final romance story. So 2026 film Wuthering Heights blurred the mother and daughter characters into one for the movie, from my perspective. That is why it was marketed as inspired by the greatest love story of all time, from my perspective, and then from my perspective as well. The movie turned it into more of a love of a non-friend type, less of a friend-love type story, the Heathcliff of the same age Catherine and Heathcliff. And this is the book and the person. So, Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë, and Emily Brontë, the person that I talked about attempting graduate school again, and I think I could do 500 to 600 pages on this. Maybe. Anyway, that's notes for my April 2026 reading of Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë.